Although the land for Telosa's eventual construction may come at a relatively cheap price, building a bustling metropolis in the middle of the desert isn't exactly the most ideal or even smartest undertaking.
Even this video, which is just a jerk-off video, admits it. Even they admit it.
Saudi
Telosa, America's $400 billion future city. They want to build a city in the middle of the desert. And look at it, is disgusting to look at. But I want to see what they have to say, okay? I want to see what this video is about. I've never heard of Top Luxury, but I'm guessing they are crypto bros. They are jacking off to, the line. They are, they just love these gaudy and disgusting projects, which just cost the public more and more money each and every day, so the rich can isolate themselves from the rest of the world. That's what they love, it seems. So I want to see this. Yeah, it's a scam. It's 100% a scam.
Imagine a sprawling metropolis in the middle of the American desert west.
A sprawling metropolis in the beginning. I can imagine that, and it's a disaster. It's a complete. It's a desert for a reason. It doesn't rain there. Okay, you need rain for a city to function. Okay. Volts Evero. I do not know what that is. Volts Evero. Volts Evero. I don't know what you mean, socialist. I'm sorry.
Complete with futuristic infrastructure and carefully planned roads and streets filled with autonomous electric vehicles. A city that combines the sprawl and diversity of New York, the efficiency and connectivity of Tokyo, and the governance and sustainability of Stockholm.
In the middle of a city. Oh, Fallout. Yeah, Fallout Vaults. Yeah. In the middle of a desert, you want to build something that is, what's the word? What was it?
Efficiency and connectivity of Tokyo, and the governance and sustainability.
The sustainability of Stockholm. A city built on islands with water all around. You think you're gonna succeed in the same sustainability? Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Stockholm, an insane multi-billion-dollar plan to create a futuristic city similar in scale and ambition to Saudi Arabia's The Line.
So it's doomed to fail from the get-go? Got it.
Today, we'll be taking a look at
this. What the fuck is this? It's like just 2 meters between every one of these rings for some reason. Why do they want to they always want to redesign every little fucking. You're texting and driving, socialist. Stop that. Stop. I'm not going to read your texts anymore, okay? Stop that. They want to redesign every little thing in this. Every aspect of modern society needs to be redesigned for the future. Like
the future city of Telosa, America's version.
What's this? Flying cars?
Of The Line. The city of Telosa is a planned development that promises to not just be the city of the future, but also to be a completely new model for society. In a similar vein to mega projects like Saudi Arabia's NEOM, these planned megacities are a response to the emerging problems of today's world, such as overpopulation, pollution, and climate change. These future cities aim to redefine what it means to create a thriving city from scratch that is.
So they want to combat pollution, climate pollution, climate change. Why? By polluting more? Because that's what you're doing here. You're polluting more.
It's designed to be sustainable, resilient, inclusive, and equitable
How?
for all of its residents.
It's in the
name
desert, you
Telosa comes
fuckwits.
from the ancient Greek word telos, which can roughly be translated to the greatest purpose. First unveiled to the public in September 2001, Telosa is the brainchild of American billionaire Mark
Wait. When? 2001.
Lore. Shortly after stepping down as
Mark Lore. I've never heard of that. Mark Lore? Is an American entrepreneur, business investor, and NBA owner. Okay. CNBC reporter Lore is now founder, chairman, and CEO of Wonder Group, Walmart US e-commerce. Lore was appointed in September 2006 to lead Walmart's e-commerce division when his company Jet.com and okay. No obvious. In September 2001, September 2021. Wait. Didn't they say 2001? Lore announced Telosa. 2021. So these guys are off. I'm gonna trust you on that one, Socialist.
the brainchild of American
They're off by
billionaire
20
Mark
years here,
Lore.
it seems.
Shortly after stepping down as president and CEO of American retail powerhouse Walmart, Lore announced his ambitious goal to create the planned city of Telosa. Through his visionary project, he aims to create a more equitable and sustainable future that
No,
can
you're not.
become the blueprint of future generations. In charge
What he's actually doing is using that language by to give rich people, rich fuckwits like himself, an escape from poor people. Imagine if it's not going to happen, but imagine if they actually succeeded in building this. It's going to be so fucking expensive to live here. They're not going to be able to have homeless people there. That's how fucking expensive it is. This is all just a project for rich people to be able to escape the poor people.
behind the master planning of Telosa will be world-renowned Danish architect Bjarke Ingels, who has previously been commissioned by Toyota to create a smaller, smart future city in Japan. The core concept behind Telosa and the reason as to why it's being planned in the first place.
Wait, why am I just... I'm so sorry. Have I not been... I am so off my game today. I just need to go back here. Okay, it's just a few minutes. Thank God. I'm sorry about that.
Place, according to Lore, is to create a city with the needs of the people serving as its foundation.
To focus on what's most important, culture, values, and really putting people at the center.
As it stands, more than 50% of the world's population currently lives in cities. This figure is expected to increase to as much as 70% by the year 2050. Because of this, cities have become important centers for education, research, and economic opportunities for millions of people. And although cities have brought much growth to a few handful of individuals, not everyone directly benefits from the development. This increasing wealth gap is precisely what Lore and Telosa are trying to solve. The goal is to build a city wherein everyone will have equal opportunities for growth, no matter their socioeconomic or cultural background.
Bullshit!
To achieve this vision of equality, at the heart of the plan is
Equitism? Equitism! We're inventing new words. Equitism. Equitism. We're calling this new economic model equitism with the mission of creating more equitable future. Okay, so what is equitism? With all the progress we've made in the last 100 years, why are so many people still barely getting by? I wonder why, Mr. Billionaire. Why are people barely getting by? Like many Americans, we've watched the country grow from more and more divided. And while capitalism has driven so much growth and innovation, it's far from perfect. No shit. It's inherently not perfect. It can't be perfect. There are varying opinions on how to solve this, from increasing taxes for the wealthy and raising wages to capping the top, reforming the education system, and providing more affordable housing. But across the board, we haven't been able to agree on a proper path forward. Of course not. The libertarians and the socialists can't agree on a solution. Yeah. Because we can't agree on the problem. God. And as time goes on, the gaps in wealth and in income inequality only get wider. So we started asking, how can we do better? While researching, we came across the late 19th century book called Progress and Poverty. In it, economist Henry George argues... Stop that. In it, economist Henry George argues that a real problem with capitalism is land ownership. It's a big one at least. There's a finite amount of land, and land owners essentially have a monopoly. In addition, once the land has been claimed and given rise to communities, its value continues to increase without the landowners actually having to provide anything. Yeah, I can agree with that. But what if we did it differently? And that land was owned by a community endowment instead? What if we took that land appreciation and put back into the community that had actually created the value? It was inspiring to think about the possibilities. What if, for instance, we could pay the same taxes as you do today, but get the best social services of any country in the world? What the fuck is he talking about? At first, it seemed impossible to turn back the clock and test our ideas. After all, the land was already claimed, that the city's already built, but in reality, there's actually plenty of land still available in the United States. And we realized that the best way to demonstrate the new economic model would be to start with a clean slate and build a city from scratch. If we bought, say, 200,000 acres and build a city of 5 million people, it's just Brasilia once more. Then those acres would go from being worth nothing to being worth about $1 trillion. And if the community sold the land and created an endowment similar to a university or hospital endowment, they could earn $50 billion a year. $50 billion that would go back to the citizens of the former in the form of healthcare, education, jobs training, and affordable housing and more. And they call this equitism. And once we thought through the model and the chance of building a new city from the ground up, our thinking evolved as we thought about what's possible when you start from scratch. Our mission soon became not only create a more equitable future, but a more sustainable one as well. Oh my God. 100% renewable energy. Good fucking luck with that in the middle of a fucking desert. 20% versus zero food residency. Food residency? 90% water reduction in the middle of a fucking desert. 0% waste gold, 0 autonomous mobility emission. What's the, I don't know. 500 square feet per capita open space. What? We're not building a private city or a political utopia, nor is this a project. guys. He's not building a political utopia. He's just invented a new political idea. Nor is this a project that has any sort of return for us personally, but we're incredibly proud that we're putting people at its center. We've started with a mission and a set of values: open, fair, inclusive. And we'll be taking demonstrable steps to live these values better than any other city in the world. We've assembled a growing diverse team of experts, but none of them are poor or socialists, I'm sure. To ask and address all the right questions, because it's not only about creating the city of Telosa itself, which we hope will set a new standard for urban living. It's about building a city with a soul, a city focused on actual human being. It's about creating opportunity and equality, celebrating diversity and inclusion without any history. This is so fucking American. And providing a sense of pride for where we live is so fucking American. In the end, whether this project works the way we intend it to or not, it's not going to do that. But I like that they have a clause where they give themselves, a fallback, a plan B. There's an unbelievable amount we can learn. No, there's not. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, period. And if we get this right, it could serve as a blueprint for a new economic model to benefit the world for generations to come. Because when you get right down to it, the most important questions are, how can we create a better world for our kids and grandkids? Easy. Stop being a fucking billionaire. How much happier could we be? This place will go Mad Max in no time. Yeah, one person controlling all the water. Here you go, some water. There's enough. You shouldn't get reliant on water, I say as I drink my water. Good water. But you shouldn't become reliant on water. Just let me have all the water, okay?
Is an economic system known as equitism. The idea behind this system is to create a community wherein the people will directly benefit from the growth of the city. In this system, Telosa will own all of the city's land, while its citizens are given the freedom to build.
And who the fuck will own Telosa? Not this guy. Not this guy. He won't own Telosa. No.
Sell homes on top of
this. Oh my god. You will own nothing. Is this what they mean by the Great Reset? You will own nothing?
Could you please point me?
Shut up. I just wanted... own nothing, be happy. You might have heard that phrase. It started life as a screenshot called from the internet by an anonymous anti-Semitic account on the image board 4chan. Own nothing, be happy. But it was said at the World Economic Forums, wasn't it? How own nothing and be happy sparked a misinformation campaign. However, this is own nothing, be happy in action.
Of this land. Ideally, as the city grows, land values will also grow alongside it. These generated funds will then be invested back into the city through public services, transportation, education, and healthcare, thus fulfilling the vision of equity, wherein all citizens have equal access to high-quality services. Although the final location for the city of Telosa has not been decided, the people behind it are planning to build the city on desert land in the American West, in the states of Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, or Texas. Another consideration is for the city to be built somewhere around the Appalachian region.
That's probably a better location.
But out of all the available land in the United States, why are they planning to build Telosa in the middle of the desert? One of the main reasons for this decision is that there is plenty of cheap and readily available undeveloped land in the American West.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. I wonder why. Saudi Arabia poop trucks. This is gonna be that city. There's no audio.
Poop. Yes, poop. Carrying the huge
There.
waste of Dubai.
These trucks every fucking morning.
These trucks were also carrying human waste collected from the large building, the Burj Khalifa itself, and other major centers. To have a better understanding of the problem, let us first try to understand how Dubai was built. Each and every project in Dubai is sponsored by its government. To reduce the economic dependency on oil and gas revenues, Dubai's stakeholders targeted the tourism industry. By targeting tourism, Dubai attracts a lot of business from all around the globe. Dubai's tax policies are highly welcoming, as there are no income or sales taxes. Since the tax revenues is not surplus, any new project in Dubai is based upon debt, construction, advertisement, and running cost of any project in Dubai, including the Burj
This
Khalifa,
is gonna be
includes
Telosa.
a lot of debt. And the overall debt of Dubai is
Telosa,
more than
whatever his
GDP.
name.
Countries like the US have a much higher debt to GDP ratio as well, but unlike Dubai, they have strong and constant sources of income via taxation. Dubai relies on
So that's gonna be that. There's gonna be poop truck. There's gonna be water trucks going in and out every fucking day. That's just a reality. Issue with developers. What do you mean? They can't find a developer for the place? Yeah, nobody wants to build this. I'm sure. Considering how it's gonna look. I just want some. They have a whole page for it. Yeah, no.
West, and with Telosa's plan of reimbursing increasing land values back into city services, this cheap land has the potential to pay for itself as the city grows over time. Although the land for Telosa's eventual construction may come at a relatively cheap price, building a bustling metropolis in the middle of the desert isn't exactly the most ideal or even smartest undertaking.
Even this video, which is just a jerk-off video, admits it. Even they admit it.
Saudi Arabia's recent construction on Neom and the Line have clearly showcased these problems that Telosa might encounter as well as in the future. Initially planned to be partially completed by 2020 and expanded upon in 2025,
Partially completed 2020, really? 2020.
Neom's construction is already behind schedule. It turns out that building on undeveloped desert land first requires the construction of operating facilities to house construction equipment and personnel in the unforgiving climate. Some other problems that Neom and the Line are currently facing right now are high temperatures, water availability, and the energy impact of constructing an entire city from scratch in a harsh environment. Telosa is also planned to be fully powered through renewable sources of energy. Each building in the city will have photovoltaic cells installed on their roofs, while strategically placed wind turbines across the city's borders will provide additional capacity to power Telosa. The city is planned to generate more power than what it consumes, making it a self-sustaining city when it comes to electricity generation.
Bullshit.
Additionally, at the heart of Telosa
Bullshit.
will be the Equitism Tower, the city's tallest structure that will serve as an iconic landmark and a beacon for the city. The tower will house an observation.
I mean, this is just disgusting to look at. Ugh. This is just futurism from a billionaire's perspective. They're trying so hard to go to solar punk. This is what you want. This is 100% what I want to build. I want to be able to live in a cottage. You know, there's greenery, there's
but nothing worth
There's
doing.
sunshine, there's rain, there's...
The land is more than just dirt.
This is what they think they're building.
It will feed you forever. You're a smart one. I know you'll be okay come rain or shine. And remember, a business is only as good as its people. So treat them well. Our
God, I wish this was true. They wish that was what they're building. Yeah, everything looks like a PS5. Yeah. But what they're building actually, what this is gonna be, is gonna be Cyper. I mean, this is what it's gonna be. This is how it's gonna turn out. One person, Mark, whatever his name is gonna own everything. And he's just gonna reap the rewards. And everyone else is gonna slave for him.
deck, an elevated water storage system, and aeroponic farms that will supply the city with fresh produce. Another consideration of Telosa's layout is an urban design and transportation system that makes it possible for residents to always be within only a 15-minute commute of key locations and services such as offices, schools, parks, shops, and
So this, Barcelona, Barcelona. Did they steal much, perhaps? The difference is the Barcelona is organically built. It's this sprawl has been built in stages. It's not designed like this. And all of these squares, inside of them are small communities. Barcelona super blocks. So you can't drive, yeah, you can see here, you can't drive in with a car. There are areas for people to be in. There's playgrounds, there's shops, there's walkable areas. I highly doubt this is going to be walkable areas.
and restaurants. Unlike the line, which will be completely pedestrian-centric with a focus on mass transit, Telosa will use a mix of carefully planned transit systems and autonomous electric vehicles. The city will make use
Why the autonomous electric vehicles? Why? You just need trains or trams or whatever, you know?
the superblock concept of urban planning, wherein heavier traffic is concentrated over on the borders of the block, while bikes and slow-moving EVs will be given priority on inner streets. This achieves two goals. One, ensuring that people can easily move around between blocks, and second,
If he's so powerful, if he's so rich, why doesn't he lobby for, you know, New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, Chicago, big massive cities, Miami, big massive cities to become more walkable? Why this building a new city in the middle of the desert?
so that
I'm not.
residential
I might-
areas
I-
will be
let-
far enough away from
let me
major
look at that
streets
afterwards.
to avoid excessive noise. The construction of Telosa will be divided into two phases. The first phase is ambitiously set to be completed by the year 2030. By this point in the development, the city would be capable of housing as many as 50,000 residents over an area of 6 square kilometers, which is roughly twice the size of New York Central Park.
What are they gonna
Once
do?
completed, the second phase of the development aims to fully build the rest of the city over the course of the next 40 years. Over 5 million people are expected to live within the city by this point, with a total area of more than 120 square kilometers. By comparison, the city of Telosa will be as big as the city of San Francisco, but with more than 6 times its population living in the same area. In total, the entire project is estimated to cost as much as $400 billion to complete, with funding primarily
So this is what's so infuriating. Where does this Mark guy, Telosa? What's that? Telosa. What's his name? Mark something. Come on, Mark. Mark, where do you live, Mark? Mark Lore. Where do you live? And how much of a fucking NIMBY are you? Staten Island. He lives in Staten Island. There is no fucking way this guy isn't a NIMBY to new project. Like a new building's gonna be built? Nah, I don't think so. It's gonna drive down my housing profits, okay? Let's not build new houses for cheap, okay? That's just gonna bring in poor people. This is a paradise playground for rich people. That's it. And they're building it in the middle of the desert so they can't have NIMBYs. Because there's not going to be anybody living there.
Potential private investors and federal and state grants. In comparison, Saudi Arabia's The Line is estimated to cost a similar 500 billion US dollars, which unlike Telosa is completely funded by Saudi's sovereign wealth fund and by extension, the Saudi government. With Telosa's highly ambitious plan and vision for the future, Mark Lohr and his team have to overcome one of the biggest hurdles with the construction of planned cities like these.
I recognize her. Who's that bitch? Mark. Let's see here. The Junto Group? Why do I recognize her? What's she been in? What's she done? Does she just resemble someone? Reimagining the workplace. A TEDx talk.
She lived right upstairs from me all day long. And then begging my mom to sleep over at my best friend's house. Rosie, done. Yep. See, I didn't need a cover because I hadn't experienced any pain. Yes, even in a predominantly white neighborhood. It changed my outlook on life forever. See, this change took place when I was 7 years old. As the woman proclaimed with pride, blacks don't belong in my neighborhood.
Oops. Come on.
My mom.
White.
It's just gonna be sob stories. Never mind.
Funding. It's not exactly easy to convince the government and private investors to lend you billions of dollars into creating a vision that may not be fully realized. And even though Telosa promises to be different by saying that its people will be at the center of the city's development, it will still need a huge sum of money to even begin this insane mega project. But despite all the mounting environmental and financial challenges, and with no construction work having been started more than a year after the project was first announced, Mark Lohr and his team are still optimistic and determined to fulfill their vision of the most sustainable and inclusive city in the world by the year 2030. What do you think Telosa?
But you're building it in the middle of the fucking... I can't stress that enough. It's in the middle of the fucking desert. What the future will look like? Yeah. And I think that they can build sustainable cities in a matter of 10 years. Noobs. Not even 10 years. It probably wasn't on 2021 actually. Lack of water is going to be a huge constraint if they place the city in the wrong place. Let's build another city in the middle of the desert. It's in a drought-stricken area. Yeah. Nobody seems to be buying it. Fun fact, meaning Telosa. Blah, blah, blah. It seems like a good idea for the city. Great video. One major constraint of an industrial project like this large will be access to raw materials. Yeah. Steel and aluminium. Even the US brings some refining, smelting capacity. 10 years later, this guy's animated. Yeah, no, this is never gonna happen, guys. Never ever will Telosa be built. Let's. These are just megalomaniac. Blah, blah. These are just megalomaniacs building their dream projects for money they stole from other workers. That's all it is. They stole the money from their workers, and now they think they have some grand idea because they have accumulated this money, and therefore they must be better than everyone else. Just look at Elon Musk. I will come in and I will sort Twitter out in a day or two. There's not gonna be a problem. Max tops a week, a month. It's just going down the shitter. Hello, awesome Twitch dude. It's just going down the shitter. There's in Twitter, I mean, then Twitter is just going down the shitter. This guy, if he ever starts construction, it's not going to lead anywhere. It's just going to be another billionaire project for his own personal gratitude. Gratitude? Is that the word I'm looking for? Nah, that's not. His own personal. Fuck, I'm not getting the word right. He just wants to be the dictator of one place. Because like they said on their website, if this doesn't work, if equitism doesn't work, well, we've learned something at least, which is just a cop-out. All the fancy words before that, it can all fail, and he can still call it a success. Worst starting position, yeah. Pleasure, thank you, yes. Funnily enough, that was too far behind my frontal cortex to reach me, unfortunately. Yeah, worst starting position by a mile. And he wants to build the world's most equitable and sustainable city ever. Highly doubt it.